Hi, welcome. Today's deck is the Botticelli, and I won't even try and pronounce the name of the creator. There it is. Hopefully you can see that. It's a beautiful deck. I like it because it has sort of like gold, I don't know if you can see it, gold, background. Botticelli, I've just learned, is a Florentine painter in the 1500s. Just going to get my glasses. Sorry about that. So what I'm going to do today is I had a block with this deck. I did a reading and I just felt like I just couldn't use it, and I feel like that sometimes with decks. And I was going to get another deck, and I'm resolved to use all my decks. So I thought I have to get past this block. So this is what the reading's going to be about. Perhaps there's some sort of block in your life, maybe a bit more significant than not wanting to read a certain deck, but this is going to be a spread to explore that. So let's have a look. Blocks. Possible guidance, please. So I'm going to do a past, present, future for this. I've just decided. So past, present, future, past, present, and future. Underneath the deck is the Seven of Swords. It's an unusual Seven of Swords. It's like something's just not working. I looked at it before because I drew it before and I couldn't work it out. So I think something is just not working. And then on the top we've got the Death card. So that's the end, isn't it? This could be the end of a part of yourself that you don't, doesn't serve you anymore. So let's see. So past is Knight of Wands and the King of Wands. Oops. Present, okay, is that. Well, it looks like we've only got one card here. Present is the Three of Wands. Oh, not the Three of Wands again. Actually, it's a beautiful Three of Wands. I'll get back to that. And future, which I see as the advice, is the Devil and the Three of Swords. Okay, so it's a bit heavy. So will I draw another card for the present? I think I will. So present. The Moon card. That's what I drew in my other reading. Okay. So what I'm getting straight up is stuck on certain ideas, stuck on a certain way of doing things. The past is showing, action. And it's showing leadership and it's showing courage. So it might be that, that was the way you used to be in some ways. What's that saying? Taking the bull by the horns? There's that kind of energy. It's almost like there's something lost. There's been something lost in you, a loss of energy, a loss of spirit. This is a beautiful moon card. It's just stunning. You know, I've gone from not wanting to read this deck to loving this deck right now. So it's just beautiful. But it's interesting because this angel, I don't know the symbolism of in the artwork. Obviously, they've used this artist's some of these parts of the paintings for this, and there might be some sort of symbolism. She's bringing something or whatever. But I'm seeing her arms being folded, and a lack of willingness to kind of be open to new ideas, new way of doing things. Perhaps moving on from a dream. An unwillingness to know, well, I'm stuck on this. This is what I've got to have. And this could be where you're at the moment. And, this Three of Wands, although it is a beautiful card, it is a waiting energy. It's very reminiscent of the Emperor card. I mean, obviously, the Emperor is the Empress, sorry. That's interesting I said Emperor. Empress, because it's male energy. It's a lot of male energy here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's not so much, but specifically male energy. So, and that could be something too. That could be this is male energy in the past. So yeah, I mean that's the go-getter kind of energy. So it feels like there's been a loss of that, or that's stalled in some way. So yeah, no matter what it is, no matter what the block is, it feels like there's a lack of ability to that get up and go. It's almost like you're waiting for something to happen to give you that. And the moon card is definitely having lost sight of the path. Having just that uncertainty of not knowing where you're going, and also too of, in moonlight you can see kind of scary things in the shadows, and there could be a certain level of fear. In this situation, in this block, afraid to move forward, and you've got the future here. The future here is the Devil card. I'm kind of seeing this as an opportunity to look into the future and to see, what could possibly be the future if you don't get rid of this block. I'm just drawn to have a look at this. Underneath we've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so that's a very, very practical energy. So I do think that you're being called upon to be practical in this situation. And the Devil card, that's a Capricorn card, and it's Saturn. Saturn is about weights and measures, taking account of things. What have you done? What's happened, and how are you accountable, for where you are? It's not a blame, it's not a shame, it's not a judgment. It's just a realistic kind of observation is needed, I feel. And here you've got Saturn influence here, so there might be something astrologically to do with Saturn for you. So this is Saturn in Libra. I think Saturn is exalted in Libra, so it's actually a comfortable energy. Normally, the Three of Swords is a heart depicted with swords going through it, but here the swords are actually in the ground. So there's some truth that's that's come, that perhaps has caused you to be down to earth, you know. And if you haven't got that, then you need to get that. You need to get an understanding of where you are, so that you can, you can make necessary changes. Awareness is the first part of healing. And that's what's so good about this card, is that, and it's 3, it's about communication. So there's obviously there's been or will be or needs to be some communication about where you're at. It could be some disappointments happen, okay? So it could be, some real shitty things happened and it's been very disappointing, heartbreaking even. This Devil card is really saying not to be, what's the word when somebody not to identify yourself to whatever the situation is, whatever this hard truth is. If people identify themselves with things, they say my pain, my whatever. It's kind of attaching yourself to it. I don't like that. It's not you. So I feel that this is saying whatever's happened, whatever suffering's happened, you don't have to identify with that and kind of own that, because I feel that can cause it to stay with you. It can feel like it's with you now, but it doesn't have to stay with you forever. And that's so that this block, it may feel like you're stuck with it. And you might be in some ways at the moment. But don't, change your wording in your mind. Try and change your thought patterns. Try and change your communication. 3 is a card as a set of communication. So there's some sort of communication, perhaps mainly internally, that is going on, that is holding you to some degree to where you are. And it's interesting because the 3 of Wands, she's actually walking away from the Wands. So part of you perhaps knows that. Perhaps knows that it is, what part of it is actually, I don't want to blame you, blame me, blame whoever's listening to this. But that's what this card's about. That's what this card's about. It is about taking accountability. And the Devil card is such a strong warning, but it's also such a, well, maybe I can do this to help me to forget about that, No, I feel this is saying, don't forget about it, face it. Face it so that you can, effectively move on, because, she's moving away from it, but she must be coming back to it again. So there's something that you're coming back to, some cycle perhaps. The Moon card is a cyclic energy. So you might be coming back to this. I keep getting the 3 of Wands. So you might be coming back to the 3 of Wands energy, or coming back to something in your life that is, you need to break through the ceiling, the glass ceiling of this 3 of Wands energy, to move on to the next level, to move past whatever this is. There might have been a lot of energy expended too, trying to do this. This is energy, energy, energy. And whatever you've done, it may not have worked in the way you wanted it to. And it could be time to try something new, try something different. And that's what I feel this is saying. I hope that's helpful. Cheers.